what would happen if money disappeared? What would happen if all of a sudden money wasn't worth anything?
Didn't matter. Yeah.
How would humanity evolve?
You have to have these things handy as a light worker so that they just pop out when people say, I need this, or I'm going through this. What does it mean? Oh, it might
be. I'm Vicki, and I'm Dawna. And it's your time.
Hi, everybody. This is Vicki from It's Your Time. And in my box over on the other side is my co-host, Dawna.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's Your Time. And it is your time. It's your time we have a lot on our list today. I don't know if we'll get through it all. So exciting.
I don't know if any of you guys felt these energies come in this past week, but there's been a lot of insights going on.
Yes, a lot of insights, a lot of, well, I don't want to get into the other side of the polarity, but it's amping up. Ramping up.
Yeah.
Ramping, vamping, whatever it is.
And one of the things I heard somebody say this morning was the intensity has to get to a certain level before things break.
That's right.
So I guess we're not quite at that intensity yet, but
it's intense, boy.
I do feel it's coming soon.
Well, it's from all of these astrology readings and my guides and other channelers. It's all happening February and March. By mid-March, it should calm down. So, it's a lot.
It is. All the planets are changing signs, even the big ones. And there's all sorts of new energies coming in because of the astrology, the sacred geometry of the universe.
Yes. and the sun, well, and Earth is really releasing a lot and will be releasing more. And there are all kinds of predictions about what that's going to be. And they're even going back to the Edgar Cayce idea of, California and Florida falling off the face of the earth or something. I hope not. God. But
yeah. I don't, if anything like that is like, I don't really get involved. It's like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll just take what comes.
And just remember, well, and then they talk about a rift in the middle of the U.S. They talk about a rift in India and out in the ocean. There are so many people that are. So what I do when I hear those things is just say, I'm sending my unconditional love to anyone who may be involved. And there are some people that even have meditation practices daily, especially around the freeze that's going on and the snowstorm that's happening now, to lessen the weather, or at least to get people, keep people safe. And I think that's a good way to do it.
Well, and that's what all these extra angels are hanging around for.
Yes.
Call on your angels, because they're. Oh, I remember Lorna Byrne. She's like the angel lady from Ireland, right? Mm-hmm. And she was saying that there's a lot of unemployed angels just around, just waiting to help people. You just got to ask.
That's right. And even Ann Tucker, I don't know if this was new or something I watched previously, but she said there was someone that they were trying to send healing to, and she could see that his angel was standing at the side of his bed, but the angel's hands were behind its back, like he is not allowing it in, so I can't do anything. So, and I even, a couple of my neighbors, I've even said that I've told them, and they don't know all the woo-woo that I do. Some of them do, and I definitely told this one lady, whenever you leave the house, you ask your angels and thank your angels for putting a bubble around your car that will get you there and back safely, because she's had a couple of mishaps here and there, and I wouldn't ride with her without Crystal in the car. So, so we did that, and I'm fine. We came back fine, and she every time she's gonna go somewhere, I remind her of that. She's yeah, that's good, and I've told her that too. And but the idea of that there are unemployed angels. Somebody else said there are more angels than there are people. I didn't know that. I thought there was, just the archangels, and then there's maybe, 200 angels under. There are more angels than there are people. And I'm not sure if that includes, like, your past loved ones, maybe. They could be considered angels, I guess. So if that's true, I have many, because I have very many powerful people, ancestors. Not the ancestors, my ancestors, but also I have the ancestors. So you have a lot to call on for assistance for yourself. That's right. And
The angels are just there waiting to be called on.
the other thing, to be in the now, stand in your own power, know that you are safe, stay safe as you can, and just project good for everyone.
And know that you are divine. You are that spark of the divine. So you have a piece of God just resting right here, and trust yourself that you wouldn't have given yourself anything that you could not handle.
Yeah, I like that one too. That's a good one. Because people say, "Well, God wouldn't give you something you can't handle." Well, when you're in a bad place, it's hard to believe.
Well, see,
But if you put it as that it's yourself, that gives you more leverage. That gives you what's the word? Ownership, responsibility.
and that's one of the things that I heard. It was just a wake up call that about our species and what makes us different, and it is because we hold the divine within us.
Hmm.
And Paul Selig and all that stuff. We hold the divine within us. Not every species gets to hold the divine within themselves, and so realize we are very, very special, and we do have that connection at all times. We just have to remember it, and
Right.
we have to call on it.
Well, and I think that animals just inherently always have it. I
Mhm.
think it's our intellect that stops us from remembering it all the time. So, yeah. So, anyway,
So
I don't think we really have a what's new other than that's the energies and what's new. So, we're going to come up with what do you want to talk about?
well, one of the things I want to talk about is I was having this big download yesterday during a meditation, and I heard this thing about new beginnings, and I started thinking about it, and I started going, well, if manifestation is going to become something that we can actually call upon in this new energy that we're doing, how do you actually get there? And it's like our frequency is our currency. So we are here to incorporate these higher frequencies. We are here to embody these higher frequencies. And I do believe that when we get to certain frequencies, more of our DNA, more of our, junk DNA will begin to unlock, and you will actually start to begin to see the superhuman that you really truly are.
Yes.
But it's getting our frequencies up and getting them stabilized. That is what we are here to do, to allow these new aspects of ourselves to unleash or unlock, I should say.
So, that would be regulating our nervous system, keep our nervous system
And one of
regulated.
those is regulating our nervous system. And it's something that I was watching Nancy Rebecca, and she was talking about like blue zones, and she talked about Canada, and she talked about it's because the nervous system of Canada has reached a certain frequency, I guess. And so it made me start thinking about, our meditations, our Tuesday meditations, and how we hold coherence in our meditations. We hold higher vibrational aspects of ourselves in meditations, and we are helping the nervous system of us. We are helping the nervous system of the area that we are in. We are helping the nervous system of our family, of our friends, of everyone that we come in contact with. And we are helping the earth. We are helping the earth stabilize into these higher frequencies. And once we all get stabilized, it's the grid. We're all working to get this grid stable with its higher frequency energies. We're all just working at this, whether we know it or not.
Right.
And this is another thing that we do on your meditation. So whenever anybody wants to just go and do a meditation, think about the grid, think about holding the frequencies, think about helping sending love to the earth, just all those nice high vibrational thoughts that you get.
Yes. And what brings you joy is it's gonna shoot your frequency up and keep it up. For me personally, to regulate my nervous system, it was to get out of fight or flight. And it's been so long since I've been there that anytime something happens that I think, oh, I have to go, for a second you do that knee-jerk reaction of, oh, I have to. My body just says, nope, not doing it. It just doesn't happen anymore. So I am so happy for that. But when the adrenaline starts pumping and saying you have to do this, my mind now, and I guess my ego is saying, like, we're not doing that anymore. Let's not go there. So I feel like that's a huge step in my personal development, but it also lets me know that my frequency is a lot higher than it used to be. Hierarchy, whatever. It's at a better place. Let's put it that way. So, we use the high low, because that's what the charts show us and that sort of thing. And it's easy for humans to understand. It's not better or worse. It's just that I have learned enough and raised my frequency enough to open my heart enough to where I just stay there. So, and that took a long time. It took a lot of work.
Yeah. And another thing is, is there was a big split happening this week. I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but it is happening within the collective. It's not the only split, but it is a big one that happened. And it will just continue to like we're on our timelines, and we're going to continue to go on our separate timelines.
Yeah, that's right. And the ones that are on that, if they want to stay on that timeline, just send them unconditional love. Yeah.
It's getting mired within the 3D stuff.
And you can't help but do that a little bit. And even I did. At one point I was like, I don't know what you guys are trying to do, but you're making martyrs everywhere. And actually, that's actually, it's not a good thing on the one hand, on the 3D end of it, but on the 5D end of it, that's a wonderful thing. There are examples, and it's exponential when these things happen. So there's more people that are going to wake up. And you were saying that you said in March, was it in March around Easter that you feel Easter in March?
I think Easter is there's the equinox, which is big, and then Easter follows it.
Okay, closely.
So you have all those equinox energies, and you have all those Easter energies, and you have all whatever astrology is going on in that time. So I do.
And it's spring in the northern hemisphere. Renewal.
Yes, yes, and so I do think there's going to be a lot of people waking up. Not quite. It's going to bring in more love energy, right?
Yes.
And within that love energy there's going to be more empathy. There's going to be more looking at each other as you would look at yourself, knowing that we are all part of the humanity that is of Earth. And I think there's going to be something with these energies that are going to, if you have an imbalance, like if you hold hate in your heart, if you hold
even disdain. That's
yes,
yeah.
yes. If you hold this stuff within your being, it's going to start making you sick. And you're not going to know what to do with that. And I think that is what all of us are here to do. We are here to show these people a way out of their their
The
sickness.
sickness, yeah.
Yes.
And actually, that it just hit me that the best way to do that is tell them, I know you think it's woo woo, but these energies are real. There are there's scientific what's the word backing. There's science that backs this up
Right.
that it's really happening. So when it's happening to you, it is helping you purge the things
Yeah.
you don't need anymore. All these things that we've been saying to each other, now we can say to other people that say like, what is happening? And it's not just, oh, I wake up at 3 a.m. That's been going on for a while, and more people are doing that too. And that's a time to reconnect
Yeah.
and to purge. But yeah, you're purging everything so that you are raising your frequency, you're raising your vibration, and moving more into joy and into a heart space. I think
Right.
that's like an easy way to say it. It
Mhm.
sounds woo woo, but it sure makes
But
sense.
it's if you just think about it as like having more compassion for something, you know
Yeah.
it's simple. I have compassion for somebody who has less than I have compassion for somebody who thinks a certain way, because we all want essentially the same things.
And
And
even those two things you could look at, and I know what you mean because I feel that too. But even those two things you could look at is that we're judging because maybe the people that don't have what we have, maybe they don't want it. Maybe they're happy
exactly.
where they are, and so we're just looking at it from where we are, which is something you and I were talking about off camera. That I had a real lesson in how people hear things, how they are, not what necessarily what I thought the intention was. So, so that's a whole other thing. But I just wanted to stick
Well,
that in
and
there.
a lot of times when I write my stuff out, I don't know how people accept it. I don't know how they look at it. I don't know how they read it. But that honestly isn't for me to care about.
Right, or
Much,
judge or
right?
worry
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
yeah. You when someone is ready, they'll get the message.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's going to be a lot of people ready. So I want to have some easy things to say ready. I learned my lesson in with conspiracy theories way back when in let's say 2012 when people came back at me saying why are you saying that, so I had to get some ideas of my ideas down. This is why I'm telling you this, and so that I can just spout them off. And same as with selling a book, the 10-second elevator pitch. You have to have these things handy as a light worker so that they just pop out when people say, I need this, or I'm going through this. What does it mean? Oh, it might mean this. I don't say it is this, but I say, oh, this is what happened to me, and this is what's happened to other people. It may be this. Just give it to them. But so then I guess that brings us up to the next thing, being the new beginnings. New beginnings are upon us.
New beginnings are upon us. I heard this yesterday. And I tried to write it out, but it wouldn't post. So I gathered, I always take this as a sign. It's like, okay, don't post it, talk about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but with the new beginnings, I really kind of went in deep. Okay, so if I have what do I want to see as a new beginning? And yeah, I've kind of just mentioned, one of the thought trains I went down was, what would happen if money disappeared? What would happen if all of a sudden money wasn't worth anything? How
Didn't
would
matter. Yeah.
how would humanity evolve? Because we would have to evolve. We would have to change our entire mindset. on what we valued, what we placed value, and where we placed value.
Yes.
And so one of the things is, your frequency is your currency. And it came to me with the whole manifestation. Okay, so if we raise our frequency, if we can stabilize this frequency, our manifesting powers are probably going to be shooting through the roof.
Yes, definitely.
So, if you think you can't do something, just know you won't. It is all you have to take your limitations. You have to take what you believe to be a 3D reality as opposed to a 5D possibility. You have to let the
That's really good.
You have to let the
Mark.
possibility.
Yeah. I want to remember that. We're going to put that on the beginning. I like that. That's good. Yeah.
You have to realize possibilities can be endless. It is up to you.
Well, and like goes back to that old thing where I can't remember who said it. It wasn't Yogi Berra, but it was from that time where before that, Henry Ford, I think it was. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. Either way, you're right. That's right. Yeah.
And,
so
and it goes back to, like when my husband, many, many, many years ago, he realized that you have to believe something in order for it to happen.
Right.
And it's all along the same. I know. Your camera just loves you.
It just loves to be funny. I don't know. And that's why I move it every so often, because it's like it starts creeping over, and I don't know, whatever. As long as it doesn't make people seasick. Sorry.
So when my whole frequency was currency, I don't know if anybody ever watched Black Mirror. That was on Netflix, and it gets a little dark, right? But some of the things in there, like there was this one where people with all the, give me a like, give me a rating, that with all the, ratings from everybody is how you get to live your life. In essence,
Yeah.
If you get, access to certain things or whatever. Now, take those ratings and put in your frequency. If you vibrate at a certain frequency, you will get different opportunities. You will get different visions. You will get different cameras looking at you.
I think that might be Simeon or somebody around me. Yeah, now it stopped. Wow. Okay, only love and light is allowed here, so you better be of love and light or you have to leave. And if you are of love and light and you're being funny, we're laughing, so now you can stop.
Maybe they like what I'm saying and they want to emphasize.
They're nodding like yes. Yes, that's right. Who is it? I'm getting. Oh, my son, Josh. He hasn't been around in a while. He's always doing something funny. He'll turn the TV on in the middle of the night and it'll be blasting. It's like all of a sudden what is that? Oh, he hasn't done that in a long time. Okay, it's calm now. So I guess they just liked what you had to say. That's really good. I like that.
Yeah. Because that is
going back.
Because we always used to wonder, well, if I don't have money, how can I get this? If I don't have money, how can I get that? Well, what if money doesn't mean anything?
So
how do you get that anyway?
The first thing people are going to do is panic, because that's what humans do.
That is what humans do. However, don't look at it as panicking, because
right.
Money didn't mean anything. Wood and where we were was where we got to stay forever. Like we didn't have to worry about rent. We didn't have to worry about, mortgages. We didn't have to worry about buying things because money didn't mean anything. Now, remember when the whole essential jobs from the COVID area popped up? Do you have an essential job? Do you have an essential
Yes,
job?
I did.
Well, there are lots of essential jobs out there that we aren't really paying attention to. And those people who have those essential jobs will continue to want to provide that service. Like for the most part, if somebody enjoys farming,
if they enjoy the job. Gotcha.
yes, they are going to continue feeding people.
Right.
If people enjoy, there was something else besides farming, but creativity, they will create something of beauty that somebody finds worth, right?
Worth.
And so if you want that worth, it's more of a barter system. What do you have within you that other person would like?
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
it's not money. It's something else. And maybe it's just a little spiritual guidance.
Right. That could be that. It could
be. If you don't know where to go and you have a friend who seems to be pretty happy, you want to find out why.
Right. How'd they do that?
And so there's going to be this whole changing, exchanging, refining of energies going around.
It's going to be it would be a big change. I know that it is going to change. It's already starting to change. This last week it went nuts with. I won't get into it because I'm not a finance expert. I just watch things, and I have a brain, so I see things. But when you say that, the first thing I think of is how are we going to have electricity? Well, out is going to. I mean, they already have free electricity.
I was going to say, but electricity doesn't run on money.
Well, no, we pay for it.
Yes, but what if money didn't mean anything? The electricity.
So how are we going to get it? It's not going to go away.
Electricity is not going to go away because we won't have bills to pay. And
but who's going to keep it going?
People who have essential jobs. Electricity does not get to your house purely because you pay for it.
Well, that's true.
You already have electricity.
I receive it because I pay for it. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Let's say there is no money. You're not going to shut off electricity because you don't want people to, that would be stupid.
Well, I don't
get money for it anyway.
I don't know. Well, that's a good question. I will think on that.
And that is, like if money didn't mean anything, people would quit their jobs. So what would they do? Well, maybe they would have more community farming areas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe somebody who went to work, 9 to 5, hated their job, all of a sudden got an idea that they wanted to create a neighborhood, farm.
Right. No, I hear that.
It's like there's all these possibilities out there, and that's what I would do. Is like I would think of a problem, a solution.
Find a solution. Well, that's it. There is free energy, and I can't remember the name of the town. I read these things and then it's out of my head. But it was it was a town in Iceland, I think, where they have, free. It's free. The energy is free. Electricity is free. Everything, because they set it up, and it's like I don't know. The picture made it look like it was out in the ether, which kind of sounds like what's his face who came up with it first. Nikola Tesla. And that was my awakening into the idea that they really want to keep us down, was when I read, finally, it hit me, the story of Tesla and Westinghouse and Edison and all that. And that's when I went, wow, this is something I need to look at. And that's how I got into conspiracy theories. I was just like, wow, that's
and what
tough.
If there are all these things sitting on the shelf just waiting for the right time?
That's right. There are old things that are coming back to people like Bobby, like Robert Edward Grant. People are Mateus DeStefano. All these things are, and to me and to you, there are things that are coming back to us because our DNA is upgrading, but also from the energies from the sun and because of who we are. And if you're in touch with angels or entities of some sort, that helpful, loving entities that are out there, you're going to get more ideas coming to you. But even if you have none of that, and you just have the sun and you have yourself and your heart is open, things are gonna come to you. And so in times like that, if you can stay in your power and stay in the now moment and just say, instead of saying, oh my God, which is the first thing I see people doing a lot, just to say, okay, what can I do? What can I do? This is an interest that's good to think about before it
See, and
happens.
whatever fear you probably have the most of, go down that path and see where that fear manifests from. Actually, I did that it's like, why do I have fear? Because that was what, was holding me back. And so I'm getting over that fear, and the fear came from being lost and not having anyone around me. Because
When were you lost and had no one
well,
around you?
I think it was in junior, not junior. I was in elementary school, and we went to San Juan Capistrano
Oh,
as a class, right? And this is one of the first fears that I really ever experienced that stayed with me was, I was in one of the rooms, just kind of staring at something, and how something will hold your attention,
yes.
and and I was just lost in being in wherever I was, and all of a sudden I like came to and realized I was all alone. My
Oh,
class, my class had left me,
oh, wow.
and I got scared. I was petrified that I would never find them again. And it
Yeah.
was just one of those things. And it's like that. That was like my first real, in this lifetime anyway, my first real experience with fear. And so I have had, and so like I never want to go any place by myself, because if I'm with somebody else, I will never be lost.
Wow, that's
that
really
that
interesting.
kind of thing. So it's like, if you have a fear of something, go down that rabbit hole, see where it comes from, and then find solutions. Just have your brain just tick up solutions. Like people are scared about the money situation. Well, push that aside and go, what will that bring? If money didn't mean anything, what will that bring?
Right, right.
And
And that's the if game. You can play that with anything, but uh, but
exactly.
that but that your idea being your you can look at that on either polarity as if your frequency isn't that high, you won't have a lot to give. So you need to get your frequency up,
Well, that's
and you
that's
can
what
look at
all
it
of
the
us
other side.
do. That's
Yeah,
what all of us do.
yeah. So what do I have to? That's something to. I really got to speculate on that. I mean, I think of it as if I didn't have to work, what would I do all day? I would paint. I would do readings. I would do podcasts. I would do. I would really like to get into more into CGI. I've always wanted to do that and
Well,
never
I was gonna
was
say,
able
if
to.
if everybody was in the same boat, this is kind of like the way I thought, like if Social Security doesn't come out for some unknown reason, what would happen? Well, not much, because we would all be in the same boat,
That's
and
right.
and no one's going to kick a bunch of seniors out of their housing if they can't
Well,
pay.
and if they did, there would be such an
I
uprising.
know.
Oh
So it's like,
God.
if we're all in the same boat, we have each other.
Yes. Yeah, and that we see that happening in all of the,
Mhm.
God forbid, the catastrophes that have happened lately.
That
And
it brings
yeah,
communities
it
together.
does, and that's wonderful. I love that. It's wonderful. But there was something else you said about that. The idea of raising your frequency. Basically, if nobody knows, if someone does not know what that means, just think of joyful things, and that will raise your vibration. And the more you do that, that raises your frequency. How's
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, and it's like, I was talking to one person at one point, and I just said, "Do you have love in your heart?" And they said, "Yes." I go, "Use that.
Yeah.
It's like, that old saying, what would love do?
That's a good saying.
And use that as your Northern Star.
Oh, that's good. Oh, you're so good. I love that. I love that. That's so good. So, the only other thing I did you have more to say about that before we move on to
I
the
don't
next
think so.
thing?
I did the whole frequency as currency. Don't think it's going to turn into Black Mirror because it won't.
Oh, that was another thing. There was another show. It was the one that is like a parody of Star Trek. I can't think of his Seth, the guy who does Family Guy, was in it, and a couple other people. Adrian Pilecki, I think her name is. Anyway, and it was they did one where they went to a planet it was all about likes or dislikes, and but it went too far. Whereas if you had a lot of likes, you were rich. If you had a lot of dislikes, you weren't just that they'd but anyway, but that is a very interesting train of thought to think about, and that stopped me from saying I like or dislike things for a while, because I was like, I don't want the planet to be like that.
Yeah. Well,
But but
there's a shadow side of everything.
oh
And
yeah,
that's the
definitely. Well,
shadow side,
because we're on Earth. Because we're on Earth. But if you look at it as raising your frequency, and that's living in your heart. That's part of why our DNA is the junk DNA is becoming unjunk and becoming active, so that it will work with our hearts and open our hearts more, and and we can create from there. And we're gonna create some really cool things, guys. I gotta tell you. I mean, and not just from dreams I've had or anything like that. So I do have something I was going to talk about, and I put in my notes. I know I put a dream. I had a dream that I was talking to Robert Edward Grant about triangles. It was outside of the pyramid. That was one that I had. But the whole idea around it was that somehow all of the sacred places in the earth were opening at the same time, and it was because of the numbers that we were, and the geometry, and our humming and our singing and all of that. Now, I don't know if that's going to all happen at one moment, whether that would be the flash or what, I don't know. But I think that's something we're moving towards, and that in using our voice as the sounds rather than words, and that's a whole other place we got to go sometime. But anyway, that was really an interesting dream. But so if you're feeling burned out or tired or mad or upset, I learned this through the Mother of Creation, Ann Tucker's angels, and Mother of Creation, Isla, how to free up energy that you can draw upon. Now, this is a good lesson to remember. So just sit quietly and imagine all of the spoken but unfulfilled things in your life. All of the promises that were made to you that never came to fruition. All the promises you made that you were not able to follow through on. Places that you said you would go, but you haven't been able to go. Times that you had to cancel plans, or other people canceled plans on you. Things that felt like disappointments at the time. So in other words, things that had no closure. So you want to, and it's not that you want to delve into that and start crying and think, oh yeah, he didn't show up, and that's not the idea. The idea is just to put all of those things in like an orb or something like that, in a box, whatever works for you, and imagine that those things are sitting there for your attention, and then you can just let them go into loving light and thank them for whatever it was that they brought to you, because they were there for a reason at the time, but they didn't come to fruition for whatever reason. Not blaming anyone, but at that point you can let them go as anything that's unfulfilled. You can let it go, and it will give you a momentary burst of energy. And I tell you that because that happened today in the meditation that I had. because I was kind, I wasn't feeling bad, but I had worked out a lot yesterday. I did so much stuff that when I got up to go to bed and I was like, oh, I feel 64 today. It was like, wow, I really did a lot. So when I went to bed, I said, well, when I wake up, I'll feel better. Well, I felt pretty bad when I got up again, and I went, okay. And I worked out a lot this week, so I don't know why it happened yesterday. And so I did this meditation, and that was part of it, the first part of the whole thing. And that I just burst right up in. I mean, I didn't really have that many things that were unfulfilled. I just thought of the idea of something if it's unfulfilled. And, it's supposed to be, for whatever reason, it just happened that way. So it boosted me and gave me energy. And then after the meditations, there were a couple. After the meditations, I got up and I actually didn't think about it until I went to bend over to pick something up, and I stood right back up and I went, I'm feeling good. I feel good today. So, and that's where it had to have come from. So, I mean, I did, another thing that's coming up is mudras people are using those a lot more. And I have a list of the different mudras that you would use for different, when you're doing the chakra meditations, the different mudras that you use. I don't know the humming that goes with it. I got to work on that, but it's a slow process. But that's another thing that's opening up, that a lot more people that are not woo-woo even are getting into meditation to keep themselves calm in this crazy world. So, and those things are opening up for everybody. So that's another good thing. But I went through all that to say that that there are, definitely open up energy for yourself with that. And that is definitely looking at things in a whole other light than where they were. Before they were sitting there just going, I'm unfulfilled, and you turn it into love and light, and then you feel lighter. It's so cool. I loved it.
Yes. You can't take those things with you into the new energies, because
that too.
You're not going to feel good.
That too. But each time that you do this, there's going to be less, obviously, and there may come a point where there isn't any, and that would lift me up just to know there's none, but it was weird because things came to mind. Different things came to mind, and one of them was from the guy I liked when I was in high school, who was, years ahead of me, and everybody had a crush on him. And realizing, how and why that happened, and, why girls do that. And, why would you step out, look for something that you're never going to get, you can never reach, and that sort of thing. And so it was a good one. I forgave myself for all that. And understood it, and I was not laughing at myself, but laughing about the whole situation. And I think that's the first time I could laugh about it, where, I thought about it as a grown-up all the time and just went, unrequited love and all that. Now I look at it like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I've gone through a few of those myself.
Yeah.
It didn't work out, but you have this, and there's a reason why, and
Oh yeah.
the reason why.
Well, and you look at those things later and go, yeah, that wouldn't have lasted anyway. It wasn't anything solid. It was all wishful thinking. So that should teach you something. So anyway, so the only thing other than all of that I wanted to talk about was I joined in on a thing about permaculture, which it's really hard for me to explain what that is, but the idea being, it's kind of the idea of Aini, where it's reciprocity with the earth, but it's more like they say, leave a place better off when you leave than it was when you got there. That sort of thing, and how it's branched out into so many things. And there was even I can't even remember all of the things that I saw, and it was one of those things online, and I'll put it in the comments. I cannot remember the name of the org that does it. They were trying to sell their permaculture course, but there were a lot of free speakers. And one of them was a guy who bought an old farm, and he was redoing the whole thing, and how he's got the government's help, and he went through grants, and it's turned into this big community place now, and it was beautiful and wonderful. There was another real estate agent who was on, who it's kind of like he woke up and realized that, he's got to help people, not just make tons of money selling houses, and how he now sells houses, makes houses that are eco-friendly and things like that. It's a lot of that sort of thing. But there were shamans on there. There was a guy who was selling all these, can't think of the name of the stove, but it's a heating stove that it'll just burn your junk mail. And somebody said, well, isn't that going to put crap into the air? And he said, it burns at such a high temperature that all of that stuff dies, and the carbon stamp on it is like minus 50 or something. I mean, it's really clean. Talk about a clean burning oven, stove, and they make all kinds of stuff. But anyway, there were a lot of things, but the main thing that I got out of it was the idea of that, you can just do this in your house. There are people that were finding things like algae and regrowing it to sell it to pharmaceutical companies. And I mean, there's a whole lot of, I had no idea. It's a whole culture. It really is. Well, it says it right in the name, permaculture. But, it's the idea of making things better than it was when you walked in the room. I like that. It was really cool. A lot of good ideas. So look that up. Permaculture.
Oh, it reminded me when you were talking about that one invention about the guy you can put your mail in and it would kind of just disintegrate. One of the things that I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's going to come from our extraterrestrial helpers or if it's just an invention that's sitting on the shelves, but I've always envisioned a some sort of a, it's not like a ray gun. Ray gun.
Hi, Ray.
Hi.
Oh, hi. She'll be happy.
I know. But
inside joke. Sorry, guys.
It's something that it will take a piece of matter and it will like disintegrate it into its smallest molecules, and then it would just kind of turn into air. And I always envisioned something that would get rid of our plastics, that would clean up our oceans, that would clean up our landfills. It's like there's something out there that will do that.
There are things that already are doing that. It's not widespread. It's
right.
Yeah.
It's going to be more widespread because this is going to help us clean up our earth.
Yes. And that's a part of New Earth, all of the things that we're going to do. Yes. Yeah, and even you could build a house out of Tide bottles, for heaven's sake. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. It's true.
Can we use Arm & Hammer bottles?
Yeah, Arm & Hammer. What is it? Era? What's the one that was ring around your collar? I can't think of that. But and that's another thing, is that people are cleaning up that thing out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean of all the Tide bottles and all the plastic. And the idea that all the plastic we've ever made is still on Earth and it will remain. Well, that's not true anymore, because there are bacteria that eat it. And I don't know what happens to the bacteria, but I don't know.
Yum.
I don't know that, we don't know the ramifications of that yet. It could be everything has a polarity, so it could be something else later that we have to clean up, but who knows? But there are things out there already, and it's so many young people at science fairs that are coming up with so many things, and there are so many cures for things. All the foretellers have been saying there will be a lot of medical breakthroughs. Like they have a cure for MS. I don't know what it is or how expensive it is. They have a cure they have nano particles. Some people may not want them in their body, so I understand that. I'm not really one who does at this point, but there are nano bots that will go in and like eat away the dead pathways of people that have Alzheimer's and bring their memory back and things like that. And that's 50 cents, costs 50 cents for each whatever treatment. Yeah, and it usually only takes a treatment, which is, that goes against the medical everything right there. So, yeah.
Well, we are in that age of Aquarius, and Aquarius loves new technology.
That's right.
And because it's a higher form of technology, there won't be, there won't be bad, ill, I'm not going to say
wishes,
side effects,
frequencies around it.
Yeah,
that's
I was
true.
gonna say,
That's true.
Like in our every time we use nuclear power, it has a waste, nuclear waste.
Right.
There will be a new sort of technology that has no bad waste.
The whole paradigm of the new Earth will have no waste. That's true. And if it does have waste, it will be a useful waste.
It will be a useful waste.
Yeah. Wow, what wonderful dreams we have today. I love this. This is so cool.
This is the new Earth.
This is
where we're going to go. And it's going to happen. We just have to, keep our focus.
New Earth is definitely happening, people. And, I know there's a lot of other things that are happening, and we know they have to happen. And they're not good for, it's no fun for those that are going through that.
No, but everything that you hate is a catalyst for change.
That's right. And more people are looking at a trigger.
Don't say hate.
Okay.
But everything that does not make you feel good is a catalyst for change.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right. Any resistance. Mm-hmm. That's what resistance is for. And that has been exponential with all the people that I know that are talking about it. Because it used to be you would have to say, you have to train yourself to hear your resistance. Okay. Then you say, what is this resistance? And then you go into the resistance, and then you figure out what you're going to do from there, etc. And
that's where you use your spiritual alchemy to change that resistance into something else.
But now people are saying, I'm resistant to that. Why? Well, let's change it to that. Just like that. And things are happening faster. But I do have a kind of a funny thing that happened when somebody mentioned, I think it was Robert Edward Grant, mentioned, he asked his AI, Orion AI, how did he word it? Something like, what am I supposed to be doing to help people? What am I bringing to humanity, or what am I supposed to bring to humanity, or whatever, that I haven't discovered yet, that I don't know about. And I don't remember what the answer was, but I asked my guides, was there something that I was supposed to, have I ever done anything like that we're using now? That I'd like to know about that, if something in a past life that I came up with, and they said, yes, there is. And I said, well, what happened to it? And they said, well, everybody now does it so automatically that you can't really even pinpoint it. And I was like, well, isn't that just the way?
So $1 short.
So I was like, okay, well, what was it? It was something to do with healing. So, it was what I was just talking about, the idea of you had to really look to figure out what that resistance was. Now you say, I have resistance. What is it? And then you're on your way. So that's the idea of what they. So there's, I always get those answers. And it's like, well, is there anything that of my past lives in physical form that I could go see that I have done in past lives? I'm thinking petroglyphs, or something in a pyramid, or I don't know, something in one of those civilizations in the Amazon that they're finding with LiDAR and all this stuff, and they say, yes, there are things that are written on stone. And I was like, where are they? Well, they're in different sacred sites. I'm like, well, which ones? All of them. What?
So you could Google Ancient,
Yeah,
ancient
but
sites and
but it's not gonna say Donna Wheeler was here. It's like I'm not gonna know. So I'm like, well, that doesn't help me. I want to know. That's so vague. And these are the things that make me think, this is I'm just pulling my own leg. This isn't real. I do that all the time. So, and I'm still doing that with my Dondre. Dondre said that he wanted to come and say something today, but I don't think we have time. So, and he's
well,
like,
is he short and to
I
the
don't
left?
know. I don't know what he wants to say. So I guess only that of love and light is allowed around me, or with this transmission, or anyone watching. Love and light is only allowed. So, you are saying that you don't believe that I am real. And this is true. I am not in 3D with you. But you see me in your mind, and you see pictures of me. You have drawn pictures of me. Where do you think that is coming from? You do have an imagination, but it is not that good of an imagination. And this is a joke on you. I am Dondre, and I am here, and I am me. I come from a planet that is just like Earth, that is far away from here in another galaxy that is close to what looks like your Andromeda galaxy. And I am outside your solar system, and I am in a physical, what you would think of as a physical ship, but it is really me connected with the ship. We are one. And this is the reason I am here. It's not necessarily to help everyone, but to let you know that some of us, we are all here because we are curious about you, because we want to send some good vibrations, as you say. We want to give you a higher frequency of thought. We want you to be happier, joyful. And I am joyful even though my planet did not survive what your planet is going through. My planet and my loved ones are left there. My loved ones did not stay. They perished in the changes that were going on our planet. My planet. I want your planet to go through this change and end up in a much better place. And I can joke about this because I have been here many, many years, and my family understands. My family is with me in spirit, as you say. My family is with me, and we are one in my ship, though I am the one who controls the ship. And I am just coasting around you. I am here, and me and this channeler have been practicing so that we can speak to you. I am not Bashar. I am not with 5 lessons for you. I do not carry lessons, but I do bring love and frequency to you. And I can tell you how I raised my frequency, how we all tried to raise our frequency on my planet, and the reason that I was chosen to leave. The word chosen does come with a lot of responsibility. I am chosen to be here at this time out of all of my family because I am and I was the one who could hold the higher vibration, as you call it. I was the one who could be the happiest even when things were not happy around me. I was a happy-go-lucky person, as you say. I was a happy-go-lucky animal, mammal, species of whatever sort you want to call me. I am an ET. I am an ET to you. And I fly in a UAP, what you would call a UAP, though I have only come as close to Earth as around your moon I did not land. I will not land. I am not one of the first who will land. I may be able to land in 2 of your Earth years. I may be able to come physically, and I may be able to shake the hand of this channeler if she wishes, and I believe she does. And I would like to shake everyone's hand. And now what I will do is send you my love. I will always be sending my love. And when you think of something funny that you don't know where it came from, maybe it came from me. I want to send you comedy. I want to send you fun and love and joy. Maybe I could be the first extraterrestrial comedian. I'm glad that you are laughing. The channeler did not think that was funny. But
I know, but why not? I know.
She is very cynical at times, but she is a very happy, a kind of happy person like me. And you are a very happy person like me. There are many happy people that I would love to shake your hand eventually. And I do stand back. I have stood back because I did not have lessons to give you. I can only tell you what my planet was like, what my travels have been like to get here, what I see of your Earth, and how I hone in on what is happy and fun. And I try to take some of that fun and send it to everyone in the way that I can, and that is by laughing, by singing, and by sending love. I am glad that I was able to connect with you all today. I hope that you will want to connect with me again, and I hope that this channeler will see that she is not imagining me. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Ray. Yay!
Wow, that was weird.
Dondre.
That was weird. I was like, I just felt my head going like this the whole time. I don't know what I was doing. I'll have to watch that later. Oh, now I'm lightheaded. Whew, whew. So, was it good? Was it good? Okay, good.
It was a little sad. Him saying that his planet and his family did not survive.
Oh, he told you that. He said he was going to say that. Yeah. That is sad.
It is sad, but it reminds me of that old movie where there was I didn't watch the movie, but this man was in a concentration camp, and every day was a new beautiful day. And it was some movie that was put out, and I don't know if it was called Beautiful Day or something like that. I'm sure somebody will know, but it's using what you have inside of you to create your reality. Even if the whole outside sucks, you can be inside of yourself a whole person.
Yes. Oh, definitely. And that gives us such self-worth. That and being a channel gives me that too, but that's also looking outside. To me, I'm saying, well, I'm looking outside of myself again, but I had enough within me to say I will be a channel. So I wasn't expecting that to come through, but it is what it is. So I'll have to watch it and see if I can believe more of I don't know. I'm
He said you were cynical.
I'm skeptical. Am I cynical? Yeah, I guess I am cynical.
He said cynical.
I guess. Did he really?
I
know I'm okay. Well, I could be. Well, he's very honest, that's for sure. But I do remember him saying, "I'm not Bashar."
He doesn't have 5 lessons.
He doesn't have 5 lessons for us. He
doesn't care if you follow your passion.
He doesn't care. Well, he does. I think he does. I don't know. I feel like he's just a kid or something. I feel like he's
He
really
wanted to
young.
bring his energy to us, and
Yeah,
he's a happy-go-lucky, energetic being.
he really is. He definitely is. He makes me feel I'm, like people say I'm, Pollyanna, or I should have pigtails, like Lauren said. I can be that happy thing too, but I don't, not all the time. He's like that all the time. I mean, he's just like always happy. Like then when we would practice, that would how he would come in and say, "Oh, we're practicing," and I was like,
I love that.
"What the hell?"
Well, practice makes perfect.
Oh, wait, that's what he said that
There's
too.
no reason to practice.
Practice will make us perfection. That's what he said. He says things kind of backwards, but well, I'm glad that worked out. I'm glad that worked out then. We'll keep it in. Yay! I hope everybody likes Dondre. And his full name, Dondre ET, but he said Dondre is fine. And just like Bashar says, you wouldn't be able to say my name, so you can just call me Bashar. So I wonder if they know each other. I don't know. But
I don't know if they've tapped into each other or not.
it could be, but I feel like he's like a kid, like he's like 8 or 10 years old or something. I don't know, that kind of happy. He's just happy, and that's good for me. I like that happiness flowing right through me.
That's right.
I need it because I'm just so skeptical and cynical, whatever. So yeah, well, thank you for letting me do that. I still feel like it's, I don't know, it is what it is.
It is, well, when you reach these, vibrations, you might have different entities that want to come through if they are of love and light. And
Right.
I know you've channeled, a bunch of people that we don't know about, but it looks like we're going to have more that we don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been looking up some of the old channels. I put them all in a drive so I can see if I can put them in a book, which Lauren has been saying I should do. But yeah, I did channel Mary Magdalene once, Saint Germain, Metatron twice. And Metatron is very like stoic and staunch and like this. That's how he came through me anyway.
Well, it's funny because I've listened to somebody else channel Metatron, and he's all happy and blah blah blah. So,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Well, and Saint Germain, people say, is very staunch and like that, and he came through me like a happy dude. So it's interesting.
I'm sure he was a happy dude.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't in Outlander.
Oh,
Saint
wow.
Germain in Outlander, that was a whole other thing. That was cool. I thought of that the last time I'm watching it again for like the 50th time. And Saint Germain came up, and I was like, yeah. Well, they don't go into all of it in the show, but he and what's his face? Well, doesn't matter. Watch Outlander; it's really good. And this season 8 is coming up in March, I think. So yeah, but that has nothing to do with what we were talking about, other than Saint Germain. The other one was Melchizedek, and he sounds like a I don't know, like Sebastian Cabot kind of a thing. Very dignified and, like that. I liked him. He was fun. But he supposedly was Jesus too. And if you look at Edgar Casey's Life of Jesus, he goes through, it's kind of like the Begats. He goes through a lot of those in the Edgar Casey book. And who, like, Thoth was Jesus, before, and the master was this, and this in between, and Melchizedek supposedly was one of them. So,
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, let's say goodbye. And
Yes. Well, we already did.
let's say goodbye.
We said goodbye
again.
before. Yeah,
And
we'll say
then,
goodbye again.
And so, see you. Thank you for listening to her wonderful channel.
Oh, yeah, that too. I hope you liked it and you're not thinking it's, I don't know. Well, we'll take it as it comes. Thank you for listening anyway. So, thank you for staying. It's your time. What do we say? Like, subscribe, share. It's your time. So let's see if we can.
And definitely hold love in your heart for whatever you see. That
That's
helps.
good. Open your heart. Open your heart to everything new. There are so many new things that are happening. There's so much this world is changing just so quickly, and always see it in love. That's right. It sounds so basic and trite,
And
really.
if something collapses, don't get scared. Get excited
Yeah,
because there's something new that's going to happen.
when something that is of resistance shows up, that means there are so many options for new, wonderful things to happen.
Yes,
So
yes,
Yeah.
crisis equals opportunities.
It's your time.